Good afternoon, good people, and welcome to another community presentation of the Final Fantasy Randomizer Spring Tournament 2022, the Kraken Games. I am Saracen, joined in the booth today by Duskplume. How you doing, Duskplume?
I'm doing great. I am happy to be able to call the third game of this after calling the second one yesterday. That was a good one. This one's going to be good as well.
Yeah, looking forward to it, though, man, what a forced party we have here today with two black belts and a black mage, and entertaining blurses, I think. You want to go over those blurses?
Yes, our black belts are going to be able to equip Thieves' Swords, which, sure, okay. Plus 20 Vitality, which will definitely help keep them alive when the grind is on. Losing 10 Lux, so they're just not running at all. Black mages will get Thief Luck Growth, so they are going to be the ones we're going to count on to run away from everything. They'll be able to equip the white shirt if we find it, but they will lose 20 HP to start, so they're going to be very, very squishy early on.
Yeah, and I think Thief Swords is actually pretty helpful if you find an uprolled coral or something before you get the grind on. It's just something transitional to get to where you need to be. But yeah, this one should be very interesting. We can hope for interesting trash fires in the magic, and we'll see how long that Black Mage actually stays alive.
Well, they're going to need it to in the early game, that's for sure.
So, Angry Aaron, this was a 4 forced with nuns included. That is why we have what we have today. Uh, Burt Reynolds calling this the easy mode. Yeah, I mean, once you find your grind, sure. We can also hope that good tiles are hiding in strange places.
And same as yesterday, they have a couple of extra fun flags that they have added in. Astos is shuffled, so we don't know where he's going to be this time around. Warmech is required as well. And we're going to have a Proc Gen Waterfall.
Yeah, and the required Warmac is kind of a non-issue with this party. You're likely going to have completed your grind before you go up all the way to Tiamat. Uh, like Shumbabi's calling out here, the win condition is pretty obvious.
Yep, it really is just a matter of finding that grind and muddling through the early game until you get there.
All right, so here we go. Off and away to the black magic shop. Who cares what the white magic has? We ain't getting it today. We have Fire 2 and Lock in our level 1 black magic.
Well, Fire 2 is not nothing, at least. That'll be help for the pirates and getting through some of the earlier grinds.
Scimitar plus 3 for 69 gold. Nice.
Very nice.
That's actually an excellent starting weapon. That'll carry you to whatever your grind is, most likely.
No, that definitely does help a lot more than I think I originally thought. That's going to make the black belts far more viable than they would have been otherwise.
Looks like we only started with one tent. That's unfortunate. Coral minus 2. Well, shoot.
At least we have the scimitars. And the black mage is already dead on Spellzapp side.
I mean, that's just a quick reset to take care of that. Or just get bodied by ghouls. Okay.
That's okay. You only need one black belt.
So that was just, let's see what the chests contain. They do not contain the loose, so here we go.
Should make quick work of Garland here. Garland does not have anything of interest.
Okay, we get our ship. Always nice to have that early just to get around the inner sea. And crown, not bad.
Likely going to be a Provoca check first. Then depending on what we get there, probably heading over towards Marsh and Elfland.
Cheap houses, I'm a fan. Cheap cabins, too. That's really good for a desert grind.
Yeah, you never know what grind tiles are going to be where. So if you can find something in desert, if it's T-Rex or if it's even just Tyros and Wyverns that you can get off a quick reset, then that's something.
Or the good old sandwich shop.
Oh, can't forget those. Looks like Spellzapp's out to a little bit of an early lead here already to Bicky.
All right, there's the fire too. That'll clean up all these pirates.
And for our troubles, we are going to get... Hey, Spellzapp's not going to miss the rod this time.
Ouch. Spellzapp just picked up a lot of cabins, and I'm really hoping that doesn't bite him in the level 2 magic. It does not bite him in the level 2 magic. He
You're
gets
only
the
buying
only
nuke
spell.
there.
The only spell that matters is half of the money he had left.
I imagine he's probably going to save here and then make a quick check to Matoya, see if there's a loose or anything interesting there.
Mohawk Man being a jerk to Chanigan.
We all have our gripes with Mohawk Man.
It's funny because the bridge linebacker is the one that bothers me.
Oh, in Lefane?
No, in Provoca, the one that's south in the middle bridge.
Oh.
That dude is the absolute linebacker. He gets in my way every time, no matter which side I try to go on.
There are plenty of NPCs that could be useful for the guillotine. And
A little bit
really
of cash.
Yeah, 1,000 gold. That might get you something, but with Nuke already at level 2, I'm not really sure what you're looking for aside from fast, temper, and warp, I guess.
That's true, especially since we do have lock available at level 1. The other thing that it's useful for is consumables.
That's
You
true.
see Spellzapp stopping back in to pick up a house, couple softs. Like, these are all things that are just good to have on hand. And 20 more cabins. I like it.
Definitely preparing for checking desert as soon as possible. And Spellzapp will be going to check dwarves first. Get those 2 free chests, and then might pop down to turn in the crown there.
Ro8 +2 is not bad. That's temper at level 3.
Oh, that's almost everything we need.
I don't mind the zap at level 3 either, just because it helps distribute some of the weight off of that nuke, particularly if you're having to deal with like man-cat packs.
It's always nice to have something else.
And we get the herb from the kindly old king, who is not Astos this time, by the way.
But once again, we were going to have Astos somewhere out in the world surprising us.
My bet is always the bottle fairy.
Well, in game 2, it was the Chamberlain to the Elf Prince. I always find that to be a fun one where he's right there, he's ready to strike just as you get there.
Ooh, we had fast and bracket level 4. We basically have magic covered in the first 4 levels, which is what I like. I hate having level 5 through 8 magic. Those levels don't exist.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's warp for convenience. That's all you need.
There's our canal. Okay.
There's our access out. Would you still check Marsh here, or would you go ahead and leave with the rod?
That's a great question. I think I would skip Marsh at this point in favor of going to Earth, checking the tiles there, and maybe just rolling right on down to Lich.
Yeah, because you do have a couple of really nice tiles there on Earth 1 and the Hall Giants. And you have a couple of shops you can check for the shop items. Well, you can go to Melmond. You can go all the way down to Onrak if you want. But it seems we are going to get some divergence here. Just as we had in Game 2, we're going to have... Oh, no. Oh, yes, we are. Chanigan is going to go ahead and leave the Inner Sea as he did in Game 2, and Spellzapp is going to Marsh. So we're going...
Certainly don't mind this play. It's good divergence. Chat was calling out that Marsh is a definite. I follow the logic there. I mean, it'd just be nice to see the sights, you know? Go where you can get better passive experience, maybe take out an orb, and, you know, who knows? Maybe you find the canoe or the floater in Earth, and it's just life is a little better for you then. We'll see.
But both of these plays are entirely defensible. It's going to be a matter of which one works out.
That's a good tile to see, assuming it doesn't obliterate you. It's a little thick, though.
Yeah, it's already 270 health. Okay, yep. It's pretty beefy. That's a bit of experience, but at what cost?
Probably a desirable cost. That's not a good pack. Spellzapp getting the last money that he'll probably be looking for this entire seed. And a zombie tile to round out the bottom of Marsh. Oh, zombie Ds have stun touch. That's great. And we get a chime down there. Required. Not necessarily required right now, but definitely required.
Yeah, so that's interesting, because I mean, you are going to have to go to Marsh at some point, but it's not really going to punish Chanigan that we know of yet. So you can come back with the airship later if you need to. We're going to have Chanigan checking the third grind tile here on Earth 1. See if there's anything of note. No.
Nope.
Just ogres. Nobody likes ogres.
Okay. We're out of here. It stinks, but it makes sense. Jesus the Frog calling for the earliest possible skydive, which would be Crescent Lake, coming in with the cube.
I wouldn't mind seeing that.
I wouldn't mind it, but I would definitely sit outside in desert for a while first. Well, I'd clear first floor, get those 7 chests. Then I would check desert tiles after that, because you can at least, you know, get a couple of things to maybe make things easier, grab some encounters inside, which Nuke usually takes out things that show up on the first floor. But yeah, it could be nice.
Yeah, that's a good way to get some early levels, is just heading in there, and if you have that one new caster, as long as you keep him alive, should wipe most anything. So we have Chanigan making his way to Crescent here, checking the item shop. Heals are a little expensive, but nothing too bad. We will see what the kindly old sages have for us.
Is it the kindly old Astos sage? It is the cube.
Oh. We're getting it.
Oh no.
There may still be something in Earth that would let us do something else, but signs are pointing to Sky right now. We'll see what Spellzapp does here, if he goes to Earth first or if he goes to check Crescent, because if he goes to Crescent and sees that cube, that might mean a beeline to Desert. I
am 100% with you on that. Not Young Me. We have not seen the Gaia Onrak or Caravan shops yet for items, so we don't know yet which shop the vendor item landed in. Saw Quad X and Fire 3 at level 5, but the Quad X is in the warp slot.
And it looks like we're going to have Chanigan going back to do the probably the marsh play that he didn't want to make after checking everything else.
Yep. Sure looks that way. Spellzapp, meanwhile, heading over to Crescent and picking up that cube.
So if you're Spellzapp, you haven't gotten to Earth yet, but you're going to have the full access to Sky. Are you going Sky first, or are you going to go ahead and check Earth?
So I'm not as familiar with Spellzapp's BB play. But what I would say is that the smarter play is to do the desert and the sky side of things first, because then you're going to have the morale break when you go to Earth.
Yeah, it does make sense. Earth can be rather annoying to try to get through late game just because there's so many encounters, so many floors to go through.
Exactly. And you know, it's just nice having a character that's pretty sure to live through things and that things are going to run away from. You have very little run chance in your party other than that black mage, so it'd be real nice to have a grind done before you go to Earth.
So we have Chanigan descending into Marsh to go ahead and get his chime. And as Chad has pointed out, Spellzapp has chosen which black belt gets to live, and it is not Dang, it is Dang.
The direction of this sailing tells me Earth.
And you're right, I'm going to Earth first.
Because if you were headed to Sky, you would have just headed straight south from that dock. The other thing that's worth noting with the desert grind this seed is that there's a moderately long walk off the hard reset. So you are kind of committing to a mediocre situation.
That is true. It's always frustrating when you are committing to a black belt and you're waiting 6, 7, 8 seconds off of a hard reset to get an encounter. Spellzapp is finding out that these zombie Ds are not very friendly.
Yep.
And I'm going to go ahead and get to see if the other encounter really isn't any better.
Shumbabi saying maybe north from Crescent is faster. My problem with that is that you have to jog around east and west a couple of times on the way up. It's easy to get lost in the process with that, but if you head straight south from that dock, you hug the east coast of the Gaia continent, and you never actually have to go east or west until you get to dive over towards the dock. Just the possibility of getting a little lost at sea with that is where I don't like going north.
Spellzapp picking up at least a couple of levels here. We'll see if he decides to save it and head back in and try to just clear Earth as is. Yeah, looks like that's what we're going to get.
Good play. I mean, you've committed to going to the location. You have the resources now for sure. As long as you don't get bodied by trolls.
I do wonder if we're going to get some even more divergence here. Chanigan has already seen what the first floor of Earth looks like. I would be surprised if he goes back to double dip it. I would think he would go to desert here because he's already left Earth with the knowledge of what's at least on the first floor.
Chanigan is trying to kill off one of the black belts. There we go.
We'll miss you, Whoop.
The last time that I've done a poison kill off like that, I was doing a Sharknado grind and there was something with Stinger. It's been a while to use poison for that, but I like it.
Doesn't look like Spellzapp has run into too much trouble so far heading onto the vampire floor.
Nothing too gross yet. We did see Chanigan stock up like we're going to see a desert grind.
Yep, he's going south. Now, I'm not sure if this is the correct play, but I might have just checked on rec there just to see if maybe the vendor item was there.
Fair thought. And now we're seeing just how long that walk is. What a payoff. Yeah, we're going to test the water just to see how thick these stakes are. That's 500 thick. No.
So it's there. It's what you wanted, just not quite at exactly how you wanted it.
Yerp. So encounter 2, not so great.
Well, this is a long time between encounters.
Yeah. Quint on the steak and wings. Are you for real? Wow, this is a hostile desert.
Chanigan's deciding, you know what? Maybe let's see if I can find some sandwiches somewhere. Maybe they'll be kind.
Yeah, and one of the sad things is, okay. We found sandwich. Near max roll nuke takes it out, which is less information than we wanted.
That's been quite a few max roll nukes that we've seen.
Yeah, that one was 398, which it's so close. Oh, canoe out of earth. Spellzapp getting the big movement.
That is definitely going to be helpful. That's going to open up quite a lot for him.
Shout out to Door Glitch. Yeah, this sandwich grind is real good. Okay, they have over 300 and they have cremate. That's a problem.
And glance.
Glance is less of a problem. Like, you can use softs, whatever.
This really is not the friendliest desert, though. Gotta say that.
Yeah, this is a bit spooky.
Right. I have noticed as Spellzapp has been going through, he's been taking pretty much every encounter.
I like it. As long as you have the resources to handle Lich, it's fine. And you're walking out with levels. You can see Chanigan is still, like, I think lower level than Spellzapp right now. Might be eclipsing him here. No, it's still a level behind. So, like, that's sort of the difference right there. Is like these sandwiches are good-ish, kind of. They're a little thick. They're about 320 hit points, but the fights that Spellzapp is taking while making progress is a big deal.
Yeah, as long as Lich doesn't have anything too funny here, we're gonna go ahead and get our first orb lit at a pretty quick time. Well, as I say that,
Huh. Neat. He's just gonna spam hold. He wants to hug you, alright? Thunder, okay.
oh,
Rut-row.
oh, we're in danger.
Yes. That's the fight right there. Now Lich is playing with his food, okay.
Oh, that is awful for Spellzapp. And Blaze, oh my god.
Alright, this is the part where you rethink your life choices. He took all those fights on the way down, he got the canoe, and then he just got wrecked. There's no way to put that other than that.
I will take full responsibility for the commentator's curse there.
Chanigan already transitioned down to solo black belt for these sandwiches. Fortunately, MDEF doing its job and protecting Chanigan from the glances.
Let's see, what level is he up to already?
I want to say like 19-ish. Once he gets over 21, these sandworms are going to go down right away. Like, it's no longer going to be a two-hit affair once he hits 21.
So I wouldn't say that this is a typical grind you would see with a black belt party that Spellzapp's doing right now, but it is still decent experience.
Yeah, he wants the safety of the levels beforehand to have the resources when he goes down again. I get it.
Boy, that black belt just seems particularly stun happy.
Yep. All right, Chanigan up to 22 on his black belt. Desert Grind doing Desert Grind things. We should start seeing the 6-hit obliteration here. Well, still only getting 4 there.
So we'll see how long Spellzapp stays here. Probably just enough to feel comfortable going down and taking on that Lich again. This feels like one of those situations where you know what's here and you've committed as much time as you have already that you don't feel like you can leave and try and find something better. You just have to make do with what's here.
Yeah. Chanigan gonna try his luck on the blue stakes off that hard reset. This is looking good. Nope. Oh, it was a crit. All right. Like, if he gets turn order on the second round, it's fine.
I mean, crack's not good.
Oh, that was like 800 damage output for that T-Rex, and it was still up. These things are rolled thick.
So that's a T-Rex with crack, glare, and thunder, and Chanigan is saying, "Nah, I'm good, thanks. Bring me back to the sandwiches."
I think we're seeing that 32 minimum come back again. Ganon's gone wild. Zap got all the way down to Lich, and Lich decided to not be a carpet for once.
Yeah, Lich immediately cast hold on the black belt turn 1, and it didn't get up until the final round, and it also had Thunder and Blaze and Slow. Just not a Lich to be trifled with this time around.
Yeah, you gotta have resources for that sort of situation, and there just weren't. All right, Chanigan's trying again. Yeah, 900 damage, and that thing is still upright.
That seems like he might be committed to it now.
Yep, sure is. Now, the thing that I have to say, it's practically a legal obligation. T-Rexes don't have great morale from what I recall, and you actually need to move that black belt out of the first slot or they'll start running away.
And I think if I saw right there, that T-Rex actually has over 1,050 HP.
Yep. Yeah,
That's insane.
thick with 2 Qs.
I mean, it's a ton of experience.
The thing that's actually good here is the crack isn't ever landing, and so that's basically just a free turn. And was it Glare was the other one, also a free turn? Like,
True. At this point, it's very unlikely that either of those are going to hit.
I mean, there's still a chance. There's always a chance, but the odds are in your favor, and you never lose anything with this because you're saving constantly.
See, Chanigan should be close to 32 here.
Yeah, being over 1,000 damage deep onto these things and still seeing them stand, it's so rough. But 31, we're almost to the 8-hit breakpoint. That should speed things up. Ow. Ow, my hit points.
God, a crit for 479. But yeah, I mean, at least the 8 hits will make it 2 rounds instead of 3. That's something.
And Chanigan getting very close to finishing out this grind. I mean, now that we're here to this point, and we can 2-round them reliably.
Do you go all the way to 42 while you're here?
I sure do. The reason I say that is having the chime in the cube can go through at 42 and reliably punch out a Warmac and a Tia. Spellzapp back to Lich 1. I think in a better position overall than before.
Far more resources, yeah. Took the levels on the early grinds and on floor 1 to make sure you have nukes, but there's first turn Thunder.
First turn Thunder. First turn Thunder with a low roll on the Black Mage. That's the only thing that's nice. Okay, the Lich is down.
And at 32:10, we get our first orb lit. Our long national nightmare is over.
Right?
Spellzapp will never have to come back to Earth.
Spellzapp also at the point where he has the resources to find a grind if he goes to desert or if he tries to do something else, which we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, the canoe does open up a lot for him, so he has other places to go aside from desert. We'll see what he decides to do. This may be an ordeals play.
That looks like an ordeal's all right.
It is.
I like it. You know, it's a good dungeon to go to at this point. It's supplementary levels before you go to an actual grind. You have 2 tiles you're forced to walk through. So, you know, you have an optional third.
Although no warp does make this a little unfriendly.
Yeah, well. $39 on Chanigan's side.
I'm just waiting for this to be the troll 4th pillar.
4th pillar dream still alive today.
Just for the sake of competitiveness, I really do want this to be progression. I don't want this to be like tail or rustic. That would feel so bad.
Yeah. Will Bloodworth, I am 100% in agreement with what you're saying here. RNG is still a factor. Hey, look, that was a 1-round kill. We're up to 42. We've done it. We have 999 hit points. We're up to 19 on Spellzapp's side, which is a good place to be. Almost to the point of black belt self-sufficiency at 21.
Seeing quite a lot of mummies in here.
And quite a lot of low roll fire too. Like, please spell, give us damage.
That is not time we can be afford to be wasting right now.
Yeah. Useful, but not essential.
Yeah, that's not what you want to see.
Now, the downside of this sky is that Chanigan is running through with a minus 10 lock black belt. You can't run from any of this. Which means you are reliant on actually taking the fights and not getting a particularly mean pack or anything like that.
And it does look like that Spellzapp is going to go ahead and just leave desert behind and check everything else.
Well, there's our Oxyale. Very conveniently located. This is the tourist trap of our nightmares.
So what do you call that? Lazy on Rackians?
More opportunistic than anything. There is our loot in sky.
A good old banjo.
I like it. It's It's really not that far off.
I'm almost wondering if at this point Spellzapp just forgoes a big grind and just tries to get through with what he has. And we're going to get to see our first look at the proc gen waterfall.
Up and right is the answer? It's always up and left. How is up and right the answer?
That's not much of a proc gen at all.
It's not the worst I've seen.
This is a bad pack for Chanigan to see.
Yeah. And there's our slab in the waterfall. Not a great find there.
I mean, they're not hitting for much, but you're not running.
Was that a temper sword? I think that was a temper sword.
I believe that was.
Gives something for the second black belt to do if you keep it upright long enough in Topher.
This is starting to not look good at all for Chanigan.
Yeah.
Oh, he got out.
Oh, finally. You know what's funny is with the number of hits, the amount of attack power, the likelihood of crits, maybe you could have actually punched those slimes out.
Yeah, that's just so dependent though on seeing if you're able to get luck with those crits. And with all the turns he had to run, you got to think maybe one time I can get through. I have max HP. I just need one.
Yeah.
And the incentive in Waterfall was a slab.
Okay, we are sailing back up in the direction of, I'm guessing, the volcano and ice river split. No, we're heading west. No, we're still heading that way. Okay. I'm not too crazy.
And we'll see what exactly a 46 black belt can do to Warmech.
469 on the first hit, resisting a nuke and getting a 142 in return. Warmech has a lot of spells this time around. That black mage is not going to survive if it gets up there.
I think you probably like seeing that if you're Chanigan, though, because that's 3 things out of the boss pool at least that Warmech has that you're not going to see in Topher.
Yeah, I am a fan of that one nuclear being out of the pool. I'm a fan of Swirl being out of the pool. Like, it's all good.
And at 4018, we get our first orblet on Chanigan's side, the Air Orb. Tiamat did not prove much of a challenge.
Spellzapp doing the ice play first. I respect that. Guaranteed incentive. Also, a lot of spike tiles here to check. Cannons, I would love for that to be the case, but I've definitely lost Topher dives in similar scalings with a 50 black belt before. It's there are enough possibilities, but that black belt being 49 at this point is essentially immune to anything. Like we're at ribbon MDef here.
And you still have chances of running into, say, metal slimes again in Topher, and you're going to run into the exact same issue of trying to get away from them.
9 packs of evil men or something like that. You know, and like there's all sorts of nastiness. The long running joke of the nuke worm packs on the air floor that we saw in, was it the play-in race or the Last Chaz qualifier?
It was one of those two, and I do remember that. That was fun. I think Kate remembers that fondly.
Yep. The best part was that it was like one step off from Chaos's stairs.
And we will see what ice has for us.
Oh
No.
no. That's just a hard reset out. We're out of here. We're not taking that. Okay. I agree. I think that is the right way to handle that bit of disappointment.
Yeah, that's the right play. It's just you've made 2 big checks now, or 3, and you found Brewstick, Saberbonk, Slab.
Yeah. Falconic, that was the Saberbonk in the ice incentive chest. All right, so we are starting to look real long and hard at these loose items. We do have our Oxyale as the vendor item in on-rack. We have the Volcano right here.
Yeah, I don't think that there are any other checks to make aside from a Lucency or a Lucent Volcano. We can't get a Cardia, can't open any of the Keylock chests. We've checked Matoya, we've checked the 2 free dwarf checks. It's here pretty much.
Arrakis Spellzapp just got out of ice, and it was the Saberbonk. The loose items cannot be in the ice chest because the loose cannot be in an incentive dungeon. So, Chanigan picking up that canoe. We're getting our first check of the Volcano Armory from Spellzapp. There's a loose adamant. So who knows what that could be? Is it useful?
I feel like it has to be.
The second loose could be the real prize. I mean, it has to be something, but it could turn into the tail, which would be real odd.
Spellzapp making sure that he checked where that rod was in game 2 multiple times. You got it, Spellzapp. It wasn't anything, but you got that chest. Congratulations. Very thorough.
I'm sure that was a for the fans moment right there.
Oh, it had to be.
And there's there's the ruby, so we have our way to Sarda. All right, both loose and Volcano. That's actually great news for Spellzapp, because we don't have to look anymore.
So this actually could help if Chanigan decides C before Volcano. He probably won't, because he's going to have to be checking Ice to see what the progression there is, and then Volcano seems like the right check after that. But if he goes to Waterfall and goes to on-rack and sees that the Oxyale is in on-rack and decides, hey, maybe I'll go to C and see if a loose is in there, that could be what Spellzapp needs.
Yeah, at this point, I think the biggest thing is Spellzapp needs to find something more efficient than what Chanigan did to grind. And that's just, it's hard to find at this point. Chanigan making the play over here as well. Heading up to Ice to get the disappointment.
And so it doesn't seem likely that he will leave here without also checking Volcano.
Absolutely. Jesus the Frog, it is very possible, and Spellzapp does have a couple of incentive items that make it so he's going to have a higher amount of experience per fight.
Ah, he found the Agama.
Yep, Agama on the vanilla Agama tile. What heresy is this? So if you didn't know, the tile on the left side of that room, right at the entrance of this floor, is the same as the Agama room that we refer to on the bottom right, near the stairs.
And he is 22 now.
That is a good level for dealing with Agamas, generally.
Yep. You're seeing your grind right here.
Absolutely. And he did just pop a couple of healing potions onto the Black Mage, which, I guess, I mean, it's going to keep it up for one turn. But the Black Belt is enough firepower already. So this could be more efficient just because of the step counter on the T-Rexes.
Yes, this is the vanilla Agama tile. Interesting here that he's using up the resources on the Black Mage to gain levels. I feel like when you lose that Earth Dive, you're already 47 minutes in. I would just want to get that Black Mage killed off as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I was a little surprised when he used the healing potions on it in the first place, but I think there we go. The punches coming out of the black belt are going to be enough at this point. It looked like it was what, like 250 hit points or something like that. So this is not a threatening encounter. It's very fast to pick up.
Now, the question here is, this is about half of what you got from the sandwiches and a third of what you were getting from the T-Rexes. Does this make up time because you're able to get these battles quickly, one after the other?
I think so. And the bad part is the amount of transitions that you have to go through. The good part is there's no steps between. It's one round. You actually have less healing because they're going down in one round. You're not having any lost battles. Like, there's all of those different things. I definitely follow the Burt Reynolds school of thought of you take the grind you have, not the grind you haven't found yet. Like, this is here, and it's easy.
No, I mean, it's absolutely what he needed. It's just a question of, is it going to be quick enough to allow him to catch up?
That is the real problem here, is I don't think it is. Look at that black belt on Chanigan's side, actually getting the first run attempt against those mud goals. And the giant. Alright, here is the part of the seed where Chanigan turns on the afterburners. We're going out.
Did he not pick up the ruby? Or no, he did get it, right?
He went.
Yes, he went north first. Okay,
yeah.
he did.
And Bobby, I'm with you on that. Yeah, that could have been very helpful. Doing the river, the long reset there.
I got Spellzapp getting close to 32 here. Should be 31 after this battle. The problem I'm seeing with the Agamas is that they seem to be getting a few first strikes in, so that's wasting time as well.
Ooh, yeah, that's a problem. They're not hitting for very much now because of the level absorb.
I'm still hitting for 100 each time.
Chanigan, meanwhile, blink and you miss it. There goes Carrie.
I think that was Carrie. I think there was something there. Yeah.
It's mostly just a splotch now. The other thing of note is Chanigan needs to restock his camping gear pretty bad.
Zap decides to go ahead and end the grind there at 32. Don't think he really had much of a choice.
Yep. All right, we're going to get that adamant turn in first. Bridge boss at the 52-minute mark. Oh, baby. For a tail. Okay, so the adamant, not so great. The ruby has to be good.
Gotta love a 52-minute ruby into something leading to floater.
I think we're just going to straight up get the floater here, unless we get like crystal to floater.
I mean, it could be crystal, it could be TNT.
That's fair. It's fair.
Crown was actually one of the first things we got, yeah. Oh, we're still waiting to see Astos, aren't we?
We sure are.
Is it Sarda? It kind of has. It's either Sarda, Fairy, or
Lefanish man.
Lefanish people,
or
yeah.
Dr. Un when we translate the slab.
Oh, we haven't turned the slab yet. That's true.
I love watching undead run away. That's one of my favorite things.
You wish you could morale break them more often.
There's our crystal out of Sarda. That's fantastic.
Sorry, delayed gratification. Spellzapp also getting the bad news of the Final Fantasy IV turn-in of an adamant to a tail. Or the other way around, actually.
If you play any of the D&D style games, the idea of a metal tail is pretty cool if you're talking like a tail whip kind of deal. Like, you know, we put this on a tail to make the tail into a weapon. Other than that, it just kind of gets weird.
Oh, you know, actually, Matoya could also be Astos.
Mm-hmm. It's funny when the Titan is Astos. Dude, I'm just your Uber driver here with your lunch. Why are you hitting me? All right,
I don't
so
know.
Matoya had a floater. It looked like.
Yep. So that's finally our progression to get in the air. But yeah, I don't know. I've heard plenty of stories of Uber drivers, DoorDash, Grubhub. I wouldn't be surprised if you just got attacked for no reason.
It's happened, I'm sure. We are never running out of houses again. Chanigan just picked up like 50 houses. We call that a subdivision. That is one subdivision of houses. Luffy, what you have missed is it's been a good race, but Spellzapp is a little bit behind. He had a wipe against Lich 1. Of all things, Lich 1 was actually real threatening this seed. While Chanigan was taking a grind in the desert on sandwiches into T-Rexes, and those T-Rexes were thick cut. Like 1100 some hit points of thick.
Looks like we're gonna go ahead and have Spellzapp getting that floater pretty soon here after also buying a subdivision for himself, I would imagine, bringing his party up.
Bringing up the second black belt at this point in the seed, too. We are not purchasing anything, and in fact, we're almost leaving with 2 people at 1 hit point.
Yeah, I think he's done grinding. I think he's gonna try and go at 32 because he feels that far behind.
That's fair. All right, Chanigan has checked the caravan vendor, good old Underhill. He's gonna walk in and he's going to see the good news. And he might just walk on down right now. Well, he's gonna do waterfall first. Okay.
I mean, at that point in the seed, why not just buy like 6 or 7 oxy ales, you know? Maybe you need a couple extra.
I mean, that's what the tourist trap wants you to think. Chanigan making a beeline straight to that robot. So the answer in anything procedurally generated is you always head up because doors have to be on the bottom of the room. But like up and left memes are for real. All right, so Chanigan at this point is just a water orb and a key away from go mode.
I think what we have left is the. It almost has to be slab into bottle into key. I
Yep.
think there's no other combination that works here.
I agree.
And Spellzapp going ahead and getting that done before doing anything else.
Makes sense to me. And the Lefanish man is Astos. That sneaky guy.
Wait a minute, that's not very Loopa of you.
Oh, the TNT.
Right. I forgot the TNT. So it's TNT. Slab to TNT. To bottle. To key.
That's pretty rude right there. The only way I think it could have been more rude is if it was like TNT to bottle to slab. But like, this is basically the same thing.
Fortunately, those black belts showing that they are still not good at running even higher levels. And Dang is down again.
Yeah. So the only thing that I really feel that we're missing here, and perhaps it is just because I have the stream audio muted, so I'm not hearing myself talk. But I feel like Chanigan should be, if he's not, making new noises as he's running through this dungeon. New, new. Get that Doppler effect in there.
I don't think that's considered clean audio.
I mean, it's family friendly. That isn't that enough?
You're going to have to ask RPG Limit Break about that. Thank you.
Thank you, Shum.
I do appreciate getting a good hooray dwarf check.
All right. The final orb is lit at the 1 hour and 35-second mark. It's just time to do the tour of the world to translate a slab, turn it in, get a TNT, to get a bottle, because apparently Narek stops drinking when you give him dynamite, to then go get a key from the bottom of a lake.
I mean, to be fair, if you gave me explosives, I would stop drinking right away.
Not young me, probably just a little higher than that. I would say probably closer to like 25-ish. So he did check a few early. Trying to land in the mountains there.
And Spellzapp will now make his air ascent.
There's another T-Rex start. Both of those lived through the crack, and yeah.
I have to imagine if you're seeing that Spellzapp at 102, your heart sinks a little bit.
A little bit. Right, Chanigan's got the TNT. Chanigan has the double bridge boss here.
These Lithanians are on Spellzapp's payroll. They are not letting him leave.
Anything and everything to help out.
It's not going to be too long before Chanigan's going to go ahead and make his Topher dive. We will see how far Spellzapp's behind. I want to say at this point probably 5-6 minutes.
I would say if you beeline it, if you make no stops and everything is pleasant on your way, probably 5 or 6, yeah. The other thing worth noting, though, is that even when Spellzapp enters Topher, it's a level 50 black belt versus a 30-something black belt.
That is true. It's going to take an interesting confluence of events here for Spellzapp, I feel, to make things up. It's not impossible.
From Bobby wishing that this was the double anti-bingo tournament, not spring tournament here. I'm with
That's
you.
later in the year.
All right. Chanigan has hit go mode and is aware that we are not going to ordeals.
Oh, come on, Chanigan. Just go to ordeals. You need that rude stick. Just for safety, for the fans.
Did you just call it that rude stick?
Well, it is a rude stick. It certainly cost Spellzapp some time.
Yeah.
And he's in. Chanigan to Topher 104.45. See if there's anything here that can stop this juggernaut of a black belt.
Follow-up question is, how does this Warmac perform against Spellzapp's party? Farewell, Black Mage. Oh, just starting off with a blizzard. Very nice.
That is another thing out of the spell pool.
We had seen that before because of the... we'd gone through to at least the nuclear. But there's 15 hits to knock it out. 38 on Spellzapp's Black Belt, which it's respectable.
Getting close to 42.
I think Spellzapp's Black Mage has like 6 or 7 levels on Chanigan's. So I want to say Chanigan's Black Belt just hit 21 and has barely over 200 hit points.
Ooh.
Zap's Black Mage had like 250, 270, something like that. We are going to punch a couple dinosaurs in the face here. I agree. Yeah, 14k off of that. Very nice. It's that one-hitter quitter right there. Very nice.
If Chanigan can keep this Black Mage alive for any duration of time, it is going to be immensely helpful.
1485 against Lich 1.
Not much of a problem there.
No, No.
And Spellzapp has hit 42, still has C to go.
I'm a lot more comfortable with the idea of running to C with a 42. Is this... Oh, this is a restock. Okay. Like, did he forget that he needs a water orb still?
Also bringing that black belt and black mage back online so that you can have the easier run chance, because even at 42, that black belt's not doing much of anything.
Oh no, he forgot.
Spellzapp. You still got a Kraken. Friend.
That was a reset of oh no.
Just check your inventory, or maybe you remembered.
I will be honest, because of how the orbs don't line up to where they are on the map, like where the dungeons are, that's not always helpful. But he remembers.
And Chanigan is done with Kraken 2.
Oh baby.
Oh, ambushing waters.
With Stinger? Okay. Please, yes, poisons. So bad. I'm devastated. Pretty skinny waters too, and these nukes rolling very nice.
Just able to get away there. Yes, Chanigan is well ahead right now.
A full dungeon and most of the final dungeon.
Boy, those airs are also paper thin. Chanigan just keeps barely escaping by the skin of his teeth to keep those other two party members alive.
Somehow, Whoop is still upright. I thought that Lightning 2 was going to take Whoop out for sure.
There's Tiamat. We are one chaos away from Chanigan making it the semifinals.
Semifinals against the winner of Game 3 of CC versus Ganon's Gone Wild later today. It's going to be a good match, too. 13 hit point Whoop is going to stand in front for the first punch of 272 damage from Chaos.
And we already did 1150 or so with that first hit. This Chaos is not going to last long.
Boom. Farewell, Toot.
And farewell, Chaos. Get your GGs out in chat for Chanigan finishing first place and moving on to the semifinals with a racetime.gg time of 1:10:35. And he is now joining us in the chat. Chanigan, congratulations.
Thank you.
So, how about them thick steaks?
Man, almost 1200 HP. Like, Jesus. But no, getting this... I had to do this grind almost as early as possible. Just so the rest of the sieges go smoothly. And thankfully, my black belt evaded most... like pretty much every insta-death spell that the sandwiches and the blue steak had.
It looked a little dicey there for a while, not gonna lie.
Oh yeah, I was scared. Like, man, I bought just enough houses and a bunch of cabins just to get my grind done, and yeah, thank God I did that. Especially the houses.
Yeah, you made the earlier play to go to desert, and that worked out for you.
Mm.
The big difference here was that Spellzapp decided to go to Earth pretty much as early as he could, and was taking levels all the way down, and only had a nuke and a fire 2 left for Lich, which should have been enough, except the nuke low rolled, and Lich had hold, which got the black belt paralyzed
Oh.
for the entire fight, and then slow, thunder, and blaze.
Wow. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
it was
glad
a
I did my desert grind. I almost went and did the Lich, but I'm like, I'm what, level 8, 10 maybe? I wasn't confident I could pull it off.
yeah. Spellzapp was 15 when he got to Lich the first time, and just lack of resources, and then holy damage. Like there was a lot of skills on that Lich. It turned out, but yeah, that grind paid off. The sandwiches were very helpful.
Oh, yes. No,
Um,
a bit evasive, though.
yes, that was an impressive thing. I was like, oh yeah, when he gets to 21, he'll start one tapping these things. Nope.
Nope.
Maybe 32. Nope. All right, you had transitioned over to the T-Rexes by that point, which was
Yeah.
good, but man. Um,
They had some nasty skills.
yes. Which, I mean, nasty skills still better than the amount of damage they'll put out on a crit.
Oh, yes. Definitely.
How'd you feel about how the logic of the seed went, where the incentives landed?
Mm, I hated ice. That I was gambling on ice. I don't know why, but I'm like, okay, let's do ice right now. And before volcano, I almost went volcano just to check for loose. I'm like, guaranteed item in ice. Yeah, let's try this just for fun. And yeah, of course, both looses were in volcano. Like, of course.
Well, I mean, that did still end up working out because
Yeah.
there was a possibility that you could have, say, decided to go for on-rack first, check
Mhm.
waterfall, see that, oh, the Oxyale's right here in on-rack. Maybe I'll just go and check for loose and see. So you didn't
Yeah.
fall into that trap.
Oh no, yeah, no. No, I was still too low level. Was I? But yeah, I think I was. I don't remember. I had floater, so yeah, no, I was. No,
No, at that point,
God,
you
I don't
finished your grind
remember.
already, yeah.
Yeah. Oh boy.
And Spellzap had gotten the bad news about the Sabervonk and Ice like minutes before you. So
Hmm.
And he also went to ordeals early and found out that was the roost stick, which wasn't necessary. So just not a lot of plays working out, unfortunately.
Hmm. No, not going to ordeals really paid off. I normally go ordeals, but I don't know. I wasn't feeling it. Without warp, I'm like, yeah, no, let's not go ordeals. But like I said, let's just do my grind and be done with it.
for reference, Warp was Gaia 7 slot 1,
Hmm. Okay.
according to the pullout that we have on Magic. So
And
yeah,
as we've been chatting here, Spellzapp's making his way through to finish out Temple Fiends Revisited, not having too much issue.
there was the slow 2, got resisted.
So, with this, you are now moving on to the semifinals. As said, you're going to be facing the winner of the matchup in just a few hours between Ganon's Gone Wild and Crab Cakes. How are you feeling about that?
Whoever I face, it's gonna be rough. CC that completely destroyed me last tournament. I don't remember which one it was.
SGL?
Was it SGL? Yeah, I think it was SGL. She completely destroyed me. Cannon's Gone Wild. I don't remember last time I faced him. I think it was Dab. And again, he completely destroyed me. So I have a shot. Like, I'm not gonna go down without a fight, but it's gonna be hard.
All right, Spellzapp doing final preparations for Chaos with a 43 black belt.
We really didn't see much of the way in anything from Chaos, so I have to imagine this is going to go pretty quickly.
We are getting a roost stick out of Dang here, which I think is a good play. Black Mage lives through the punch from Chaos to get the Temper Sword out.
I mean, you may as well use the roost stick. You went through the trouble of getting it.
Yep. We're rubbing.
Just give your Chaos a good old rub.
Needs a massage.
I want to see this work.
I do too. I think Spellzapp is committed.
Just for the fans, come on.
Well, I will say committed until the first nuke or crit through the evade stacks, probably. Come on, rub stick.
Ah, he's giving up.
Oh, it's okay. We still love you, Spellzapp.
You tried to give us what we wanted, and we appreciate you for it. And that is GG for Spellzapp.
Yeah, 1 hour, 18 minutes, 33 seconds. I think we can shave a little bit off the top there for the fan service rubs. We'll see if Spellzapp wants to join us in the booth here to chat. And we are joined by Spellzapp in the booth here. Spellzapp, GG.
GG's.
GG Spellzapp.
GG's Chanigan. That one just felt bad. There was just getting bodied everywhere.
As somebody who lost a round of 32 match due to an earth wipe at the very end, I feel you. That can't have felt good.
Yeah, I mean, there were a lot of ups and downs. I mean, I felt good about Volcano, obviously, having both the loose. The grind was terrible, obviously. And, obviously, dying in Earth sucked. So it was like bad, good, bad sort of thing.
And we do appreciate the thoroughness of checking that one chest in Armory.
You got to make sure. You got to check it. Make sure it's it's cleared.
Some disrespect bombs on it. So obviously I would say the Earth wipe was probably a pretty big oh no moment. But any thoughts about, feelings of catching up or anything that felt good as you were going through?
Well, I kind of hoped that he had gone to Earth also. It sounded like he didn't go to Earth first, but you kind of got locked in once you saw that it was Canoe. You're like, well, okay, Sky can't really have anything else. So you're kind of priced in. I mean, if I would have wiped again, that would have been even worse, obviously, but, we made it through barely, and then Canoe gave us all the options in the world, but all of them had duds pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went to Volcano and we got our loose and tried to make a grind happen, but they were hitting really hard and they were ambushing, so it wasn't very fast.
Yeah, Chanigan's.
yeah,
I don't know if you saw it, but the Agamas were on the Agama tile.
Oh really? No, I never saw it.
Yeah, they were kind of ambushed a decent amount of time and then hit pretty hard.
I skip Earth. I only check the trap tiles. I'm like, yeah, not happening. I thought doing maybe the zombie D, a bit of a zombie D grind, but they had way too much HP,
Yeah, they're like 500.
and so I'm like, okay, not happening. Let's go to Crescent, and I got my herb or something like that. Then to Elfland, I'm like, okay, I got Chime Cube. Yeah, let's go check the let's go check desert, and found the blue stake, lower right corner. Then I'm like, okay, how much how much HP do they have? I'm like, what, maybe level 12, 13 at that moment. And of course they had more than 500 HP. I'm like, okay, let's check the other quadrant for sandwiches, and thankfully top right had the sandwiches. They were evasive, but they had what, 312 something HP, so they went down pretty easily with the nuke. But yeah,
Yeah, I think that was definitely the play. And then what we had loot in Sky, what was it?
Yep.
Yeah.
I got the loot, and like, oh well, Earth was the play. I'm like, I might be behind, but I have the.
Yeah, but at that
if you
point there was
went,
no wasted time though, I guess.
yeah,
Because you
like,
still got all your levels and you still got your loot, which was
that's
required.
what I thought. I'm like, okay, I got the level advantage if you went to Earth, unless you found the eye tile in like Earth 4. But yeah, no, I was pretty confident after my grind. I almost thought stopping at 36, 37, but like, I'm not going back to res my my whole party after that grind. I'm just going straight to Tiamat. I'll need my level 42 for Warmake alone.
So Spellzapp, one question for you. How much did you pay the Lefanian men to block the bridges for Chanigan? Because both of the Lefanians decided to stand on the bridges and like all of the walkways out.
Not enough. I should have really splurged and got them to set up some sort of blockade or something.
It was a pretty impressive amount of time that Chanigan lost just standing there waiting for them to get out of the way.
Was maybe what, 15, 20 seconds stops, something like that. I'm like, please get out of the way.
That was life before we got the NPC guillotine. So you guys really should thank the devs for that. Otherwise, Earth Cave would have just been that, but bats.
The Bat Party room is a fantastic room on Earth 3. I appreciate everything that was done there. Yeah. I think that does it for questions on my side. Dustplume, did you have any other questions for our runners?
I've got nothing else to bring up. Maybe just go ahead and move on to final thoughts. Start with you, Chanigan.
Yeah, GG Spellzapp. Like I said before, that was one hell of a series between us. Man, that I was so exciting facing you, and yeah, I'm happy I got through. Not gonna lie, but yeah, now I have either CC or again, it's gone wild to face. So this is gonna be another hard challenge, but yeah, I think I can do it. But yeah, GG against Spellzapp. And thank you guys for commentating, tracking, restreaming, and everything. And yep, that's about it.
And Spellzapp.
Yeah, I mean, GG's right back to you, man. I don't envy you because you got 2 insane runners and then one more from the other side of the bracket. So it's either Ganon's or a CC, and I'm just gonna sit on the sidelines and have a little drink and watch. And so you got the hard work ahead of you, man. So make it happen and get to the finals.
Oh yes, that I'll try for sure.
How about you, Dustplume? What you got for final thoughts?
It was really fun being able to commentate these last 2 matches. Two fantastic runners, a lot of drama, a lot of back and forth. It's been fantastic to just be able to see this whole spring tournament come down to, after tonight, the semifinals. Now, I hope you all stick around to see it through, see who our champion's going to be. Whoever it's going to be, they are going to deserve it because they will have gone through an absolute gauntlet to get there. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We wouldn't be able to do this without you, the support of everybody here. Thank you, Sarazin, for commentating with me. Always fun. And thank you, J-Lo, for being the person behind the scenes, keeping track of everything. And why don't you go ahead and take us home?
All right. Well, if you like what you saw, come join us over at FinalFantasyRandomizer.com. You can click the Join the Discord link at the bottom of the page. Tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern, right here on RPG Limit Break, we have our Duckling Bootcamp Week 3 reveal stream. If you're new to Final Fantasy Randomizer or you haven't started yet, you want to get in on it, this is the program for you. We are teaching new players how to play the randomizer, getting into racing shape. And this culminates with the Duckling Derby at the end of the boot camp. It's 6 weeks of reveal streams and training you up so that you can race against other new players in the Duckling Derby. Also tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern on the Final Fantasy Randomizer Twitch channel, we will have Game 3 of Crab Cakes versus Ganon's Gone Wild. That is a huge, huge game, as we've seen some phenomenal runs out of this this round of 8. So I do appreciate everybody coming out here for this one. I don't know which one you have to prioritize between the two of them, but we'll see. I might be commentating on that next match as well. Also coming up, we are looking at our first marathon for the Final Fantasy Randomizer Twitch channel on June 17th, 18th, and 19th, benefiting the Liam Foundation. Marathon submissions close tonight at midnight Eastern. So if you're interested in submitting a randomizer run, any randomizer at all, by all means, check that out on the Discord as well. We have a section for the marathon. In the pins, you'll find the submission form for your runs. But that is, again, coming up the 17th, 18th, and 19th of June on twitch.tv/Final Fantasy Randomizer. All right. And with that, I do want to say thank you to all the fans here, all of you out in chat. You're fantastic. Thank you to Duskplume for co-comming here. Thanks to JLo for tracking. Hate the 13th for restreaming. Both of our runners, Chanigan and Spellzapp, you did put on a fantastic race here. This is not an easy seed, even with the kindnesses afforded at points. But you know, you guys put on a great show here, and Chanigan, looking forward to seeing how you perform in the next round. With that, have a good day, everybody.